to Purpose Driven Progress. As always, I am Jacob Hicks, your host. Today, we're going to be talking about experimentation. Experimentation is the engine that drives innovation and growth. And we're going to be exploring how you can apply experimentation to your daily life. So let's get into it. First, I want to tell you guys about my social media journey. Now, I'm not going to claim to be some social media guru or anything like that. Because I mean, especially when I first started, I really wanted to just kind of get my message out. I felt like I had something worthwhile to say, and I felt like there were people out there that needed to hear it. So I wanted to get out there. Now, I was pretty excited to start exploring social media, which I never really used terribly effectively prior to that. But I was nervous too. I mean, this is a new venture, right? So I was putting myself out there a little bit, and I wasn't sure how people would react. So I started with just a blog. Tried to put some quality posts together, some well-researched posts together that I felt people would resonate, would be able to understand what I was talking about, to find some value in the strategies and stories I was telling. Now, I still do that weekly, not every day, of course. I still do that weekly, so feel free to check that out if you guys are interested. But eventually, I started to do videos. I started to try to get in front of the camera a little bit because I felt like, TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and everything else. Video is a pretty largely consumed form of content, whether they're actually listening to it or just watching the subtitles. Now, I was doing that for a while, much as I am doing with this podcast. And things are going, fairly well. And I know some of you guys out there are doing some videos on social media. And that might make you guys feel like a certain kind of way. So maybe gives you some butterflies, or makes you feel maybe just, a little bit sweaty. Now, some things I've done have worked, and some things I've done haven't. And people will tell you by not watching it. You'll see the view count drop. But like Edison and his light bulb, I figured out a bunch of ways that my audience didn't want to consume my content. And I figured out a few ways that they did, a few ways that actually worked. So I want you guys to really think about experimentation as your gateway to accelerate your growth, to really drive yourself forward. So treat your work, treat your goals, treat your routines as experiments. Instead as small, low risk experiments. I don't want you to go out and do some, crazy risky thing or pursue some crazy risky opportunity, but experiment a little bit. Try a few things out. So first, what's your goal? What result do you want to try to achieve? Let's say you want to lose some weight. That's really the end result that you want. So you decide to go to the gym 5 days a week for an hour. Now, the first week, it goes great. You hit all 5 times, you're there for an hour. Second week, maybe life gets in the way and you miss a time or two. And then the third week is just a full-on disaster. Maybe you go once for a little bit and that's kind of it. Now, this isn't a failure. It merely tells you that the experiment didn't get you the result that you wanted. So you iterate. You try something different. You try again. So you decide to ease a little in because you haven't been working out a whole ton, right? So you decide to go, I'm going to go 3 times this next week, and I'm only going to go for 30 minutes. And things start to go better over the following 2, 3, 4 weeks. And then you iterate again. And you start to build up that consistency muscle where you are easing yourself into your experiment, but you're actually driving yourself forward a little bit at a time. Each iteration gets a little bit better and a little bit better. So my favorite story of experimentation is Netflix, the streaming service. Now, you may or may not realize, depending on how old you are, but Netflix started as a mail-in DVD rental service. Now, it wasn't a streaming service right away. Now, if you don't know what a DVD is, a DVD was like a little disc that you could watch your movies and your shows on. Back in the day, back in that day, if you had said to me or maybe anybody else, hey, what, are we going to be streaming this? We would not have known what you were talking about. We would have thought that you were just describing a stream in a verb way. It's like, that stream is streaming. What does that even mean? What are you talking about? So they were just doing the DVD thing. Honestly, don't get me started on VHSs. But they really recognized early on that streaming was really going to be kind of the wave of the future. So they leaned in. They did fantastic, as we know, and they started to create their own shows. They started to create their own movies. And they're doing phenomenally well today. But they were trying different things. Some things worked, some things different. But the question I want you guys to answer is, how are you going to experiment? How are you going to apply this to your daily life? What can you try today? And that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks again for listening. Be sure to subscribe for more strategies and check out the show notes for more info on me and what I do. And I'll see you guys next time.